Martin Luther King Day of Service. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is the only federal holiday designated as a day of service, to encourage all Americans to volunteer to take action toward the improvement of their community. In observance of the national holiday, schools, government agencies, businesses, and banks are closed each year on the third Monday in January. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor and civil rights leader who dedicated his life to achieving racial equality, a goal he said was inseparable from alleviating poverty. King helped organize peaceful rallies and boycotts to influence social change. King's example of improving community and his insistence on nonviolence in this effort continue to influence many activists pursuing the actualization of civil rights and social change today. In his now famous letter from a Birmingham jail, Dr. King outlined basic steps required to have a successful nonviolent campaign against injustice. Dr. King and his fellow activists conducted workshops, training people how to incorporate these steps into community action. Following these workshops, they conducted their nonviolent social protests, such as sit-ins at lunch counters, kneel-ins of African Americans at white churches, and other forms of social protest. Dr. King's message was consistently a balance between indignation and a calling to greater love. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for this work in 1964. He was murdered 4 years later on April 4, 1968. He was 39 years old. He would have turned 97 on January 15 this year. One of Dr. King's most famous quotes is that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? You can find more resources related to diversity and inclusion and spiritual development by selecting the Diversity and Inclusion and/or Spiritual Resources category tab on our Social Service Utilization Library page. You can find links to the resources mentioned in this episode with a written version of this story on our website at cincinnati.unitedresourceconnection.org. You've been listening to the Cincinnati Social Service News, now available as a podcast on Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify. If you have social service news to submit to this podcast, visit cincinnati.unitedresourceconnection.org. Once there, you can also subscribe to get a free summary of the past week's local social service news stories emailed to you every Monday morning. So subscribe to our e-newsletter and podcast, and visit us online to discover more social service news and resources.